Following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, European countries, along with the United States, have decided to put crippling sanctions on some of the billionaire oligarchs. These Russian oligarchs have been sanctioned, and also their assets have been targeted for seizure. In fact, you have apartments, private jets, and super yachts that have been targeted, and some that have been seized. And of course, you have the rest that are basically running for the hills. They're trying to find anywhere that they can go to where the United States and the European Union and their allies would not be able to reach and seize said assets. Which leads me, of course, to when rich men cry.
I care. That's it.
You know you love it. So now this, of course, during President Biden's State of the Union, the president warned Russia that we are coming for your ill-begotten gains, and of course that's what's happening. According to Bloomberg, a growing number of super yachts belonging to Russian tycoons have decided to flee to make their way to the Indian Ocean, cruising around the Maldives and the Seychelles Islands. The four biggest yachts in the Maldives right now happen to be Russian-owned. The largest 459-foot Ocean Victory belongs to steel magnate Viktor Razhnikov, according to superyachtfan.com. Oh, fun. Vagit Alexperov, president of Russia-based Lukoil. And by the way, a lot of these Russian billionaires, of course, are rich due to their investments in fossil fuels. And so understand that Russia is a petrostate. That's what they do. They export lots and lots of fossil fuels. By the way, some of the sanctions have not been levied against fossil fuels. Interesting question as to why that happened. Nonetheless, the other one, let's see, this Alexperov is reportedly sailing his yacht, Galactica Supernova, to Barcelona, from Barcelona, Spain to Montenegro, according to marine traffic data. Billionaire Oleg Deripaska, his 230-foot yacht Clio is headed for the Maldives from Sri Lanka, and the 465-foot Nord, owned by Alexei Mordashov, another billionaire, this time who has made his fortune in steel, is in the Seychelles after sailing from the Maldives. And then you have Russian banker Andrei Kostin's Sea Rhapsody also heading to the island chain from Turkey. So look, they're on their way. They're getting out of there. Flee, run for the hills, take your boat and go, or I should say, yacht. Now others, of course, are not so lucky. On Wednesday, authorities in Germany seized Russian oligarch Alisher Usmanov's 500-foot mega yacht, the Dilbar, as part of the package of sanctions against the Kremlin and its supporters, according to Forbes. The ship was taken by authorities in the North German port of Hamburg on Wednesday. The craft is estimated to be worth about $600 million. The French government on Thursday said it seized a super yacht owned by a company linked to Igor Sechin, the chief executive of Russian energy giant Rosneft and close confidant of Vladimir Putin. The vessel, Amore Vero, was seized at a shipyard in near Marseille, near the according to the finance ministry. The vessel reportedly features a 6-meter glass bottom swimming pool with a waterfall, and a touch-and-go helipad and elevator, and a large beach club. Oh yes, very, very nice, very nice. As some of you point out, future low-income housing, perhaps. Another one, Roman Ibranovic, who is said to be to be Putin's closest oligarch ally, has put his London properties up for sale and is even selling his beloved Chelsea Football Club. He is very, very sad. Very sad, these billionaires, either having to run or being cut off or having to sell things. that they own before they get seized. And so there you are. Now, British MP Chris Bryant said in Parliament in London on Monday about Abramovich, quote, he's terrified of being sanctioned. Don't sanction me, bro. My precious yacht. Please don't take me, yacht. No, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. No, look, here's the thing. These are the kind of sanctions I can get behind. Yes, when you go after the rich, I loves it. Yes, I love it. Now, look, I don't like sanctions that hurt regular working people. I do not, jive with those sanctions, okay? Because, look, regular working people didn't make Vladimir Putin invade Ukraine. That's not what happened. In fact, let's just note that there are thousands of brave Russian citizens who have stood up against Vladimir Putin and have protested in the street. Now, this is a place where, again, you can be jailed for essentially anything. And look, Putin has not been shy about throwing political opponents in prison. And so that makes it extra brave. This isn't like right-wing protesters here in the country who's like, look at the tyranny that's going on. Yeah, you can't sit there and protest and block the road for 6 weeks. Yeah, we can't do any of that. Well, again, if you show up outside in Russia to just do an anti-war protest, well, you can get thrown in prison. And you might end up disappearing. There's a good chance. So that takes balls. Now, the oligarchs, as I said, they have significant sway, considerable, which I actually think is really smart to go after them. If enough billionaires or oligarchs are hurt financially, and keep this in mind, right, for the future, well, guess what? Those same billionaires might have the ability to bring enough pressure to push Putin back. Now, Putin, again, I really doubt that he gives a shit about regular working people in Russia, working class Russians who are hurting as a result of some of these sanctions. But guess what? He probably does care about his money. And even if he doesn't, well, the oligarchs, his rich friends, probably do. And they are, again, feeling the pain, as they should, In fact, here's a pretty hilarious quote from Sergei Narashkin, that's head of the Russian Foreign Intelligence on this. Here's what they said. Quote, "The masks are off. The West isn't simply trying to close off Russia behind a new iron curtain. This is about an attempt to ruin our government, to cancel, as they now say, intolerant liberal fascist circles." Now it's cancel culture. Cancel culture. Fun. Now, look, one more serious note here. I like it when people take down oligarchs. Oligarchs in Russia, we should probably adopt that same message, that same name for billionaires in the United States, because they also have a lot of control over our political system and are not looking out for us. Let's just be fair to that. But again, let's be mindful here of one thing. Going after billionaires, good. Going after regular people, the Russian people specifically, bad. Regular working class Russian people are not my enemy, right? They're not our enemy. The Ukrainian people, obviously, they're not our enemy. The Iranian people, not our enemy. North Korean people, not our enemy. No, they have bad governments. They have terrible governments. And think about it this way, right? The United States government has, well, I mean, we've gotten into a lot of wars. We've bombed a lot of different countries. We've caused misery and death all over the Middle East and the rest of the planet, Africa, etc. We're still supplying bombs that are being dropped on Yemen right now. Would it be all that fair for citizens of other countries to come after Americans and to blame us for the actions of our government that we don't agree with. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's a very, very important distinction. And so, yes, go after the billionaires, go after Putin, but don't take this out. And I understand that people are high in emotion right now. There's a lot of tension going on as a result of this invasion into Ukraine, but like, don't take it out on Russian immigrants. Don't take it out on business owners here in the United States. And I give you an example of that. There's a terrible attack against the Russia House restaurant in DC, just for having the name Russia House. Hey, look, you're not taking it to Vladimir Putin by smashing their windows. No, the people who worked there didn't invade Ukraine. Again, I understand the passions are super high, and look, at least I speak for myself. I stand with the Ukrainian people, but you can't just demonize every single person who is a Russian, especially knowing that right now there are so many of them that are risking arrest or worse by protesting against Putin's war. And so keep that in mind. We're all human here, okay? Attacking random Russian people is dumb. And by the way, it's the same kind of bullshit as right-wingers that go after random Chinese people, blaming them for COVID-19, all right? Or, for example, going after Muslims, people from the Middle East over 9/11. Let's keep regular people out of this and focus on the governments that are doing the wrong and the billionaires that are supporting them. So let's bring it all down. And by the way, if you are just so incredibly raring to go to fight, well, then you could always, of course, go to Ukraine and join in their defense. Some people have. That's always an option. But just, again, leave the regular people out of this.